Mm. Uh. Calling out around the world. Are you ready for a brand new beat? Summer's here and the time is right for dancing in the street. Y'all get it? Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome. Y'all, I want to share something with you because a lot of people, I won't say a lot, I'm going to say some of y'all are trying to give flack to the young man that came to the National Action Network and said what he said. He was called a lot of names, and I'm really kind of getting sick and tired of people that's in my age group coming down on these young people the way you doing, like big bullies. Al Sharpton, I want you to know I just celebrated my 67th birthday. Okay, so I consider you my peer, neck and neck. We run it. But what I don't like, I don't like how you treating these young. I don't like how you say shit that don't make sense to the young people. Okay, because I've always been taught is the only way we're going to get past anything is they have to use us for counsel, and we need them for their energy. Dr. King knew how to use the young people. And I don't want this stigma on me that we don't listen. I'm what they call, I guess, a Generation Jones, or the last of the baby boomers, I guess. However, this is a one-track thought process, and it transcends your age. Okay? I thought as a kid, when Dr. King got killed, I thought we'd be way past this point right now. I didn't know that my kids wouldn't even have the ability to be able to afford housing. Huh? No. I would have never thought that. But I do know that this is something that Dr. King spoke on over 60 years ago. And I want you to hear it real good. Because this is what the young man was saying. Loud and clear.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farm. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we're coming to get our check.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what Dr. King said? Over 50 years ago, we coming to get our check. And that check should have been on the front burner. All this study, all these player games, all these black politicians using the poor black constituent as fodder to fatten their pockets, while the masses and the grassroots of the people stay poor. That stuff is over. This is a well-oiled, fine-tuned machine. Al Sharpton, when Barack Obama allowed you to represent black people, and you only being the only one who had an open door policy, nobody else could be heard. That's why him and Tavis went through that. I'm gonna tell you something. The game is over. Y'all think y'all could have keep playing this game forever and ever and ever? If I'm as old as I am and I'm tired of playing it, cause we see the bullshit. You know it too. You get your money by keeping as many people attached to the Democratic Party as possible. And so now you better understand that that's transactional. ADOS and FBA, whatever they call themselves, I know I heard through this from Yvette Carnell. Nobody wants to have her on their show. They call her a bot. Okay, called us bots. I'm talking about 10 years ago. This ain't nothing. But I also remember, who was it? Conyers. I also remember who had the first study, the HR 40. This was 20, 30 years ago. In Cobra. I lived through all that. I'm sick of that. This is a debt that's owed. Y'all allowing these demons to do what they doing, that we pay into. We already paying on for a police force that brutalizes us, murders us on sight, and nothing being done because Biden didn't have the balls to stop it. He didn't sign no kind of civil rights bill or no kind of nothing and say, hey, enough of this. And we just got an anti-lynching law or passed. What was that, 2021, 2022? Y'all crazy. This history is dead. Otherwise, I want y'all to know, I'll be gone. I got more life behind me than I got in front of me. I believe. I want more. But I know what the reality is. And as long as I got breath in my body, I'm standing with the young people. Because we ain't going to get nothing moving with just y'all. And people my age. You know, because y'all pockets fat. So you ain't out here in these streets. But there are some of us that feel just like the young man that talked. So Al Sharpton, you can get up off of that. Get up off of that. Either you gonna get with your people for real, and stop talking all that crazy shit like we stupid, like this is just some fretful and thought process. Man, this has been going on for a long time. We've been know this was a debt owed. You heard Dr. King tell you that. We going to DC to get our check. And that's just what the young man said. How can you deny that? And this is transactional. And this better get to be the normal conversation. This is it. This starts where every time you look at black voters, this is where you better start at. Because we sick of y'all shit. We really are. Think people stupid. Alright, I'm done. If you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next video.